Alright, we're at the client's house in the basement, which is actually being converted into a speakeasy. Turn around and check this out. This is where I built those barnwood shutters. There's a bar over here, some shelving for all this liquor. What we're gonna do down here is actually hang these guitars and make some barnwood frames around them. So guys in the music industry, he owns a radio station, so we have Red Hot Chili Peppers, Korn, Dierks Bentley, Brothers Osborne, all signed. This is a really cool project, so let's get to cutting and hang these things up. Alright, so I'm going to get the barnwood stock out on the sawhorse and cut a border around this copper sheet right here. We're just trying to create basically a picture frame. So I'm going to cut the border and then we'll make the actual mitered cut. These are not square, so I always like to come in and just make a fresh cut with my square. Start clean. So I'm going to measure the bottom here. I got 2 foot and a quarter, 24 and a quarter. So mark that out here. The thing with this barnwood is it's hard to really see pencil marks on it, so you could use a Sharpie or crayon, lumber crayon. See, I already lost it right there. Okay, I'm going to repeat that cut. Okay, so these 2 pieces are going to be for my top right here and my bottom. And we're creating a picture frame, so now I need to get those 2 sides. So to measure that, I'm going to go outside. Outside we have 50 and a quarter. So we're going to repeat that cut. Alright, so now we have our 4-corner picture frame, which is going perfectly around this sheet for those guitars. So I'm going to brad nail this together and then make the trim face with the 45 miter corners. Now we're going to rip down a full piece in exactly in half. I already have the fence set up on the table saw. Take my square and cut 45. Take this down here to mark out where that other cut needs to be. For our long piece of trim, and we got to rip this in half as well. Alright, so we got that done. This is what it looks like. So let's go take it downstairs and actually install it. Alright, so this is what they look like actually hung, but I'm going to show you how exactly I do that. These are the sheets. They're super thin. You can get them at Lowe's. And I'm going to PL construction adhesive on the back, hang it up on the wall first, and then take our barnwood and actually attach that around this. Don't put the barnwood up first and then this, just in case it doesn't fit inside. Always put this up first. That way if the barnwood comes in a little bit, it just goes right on top of this panel. Alright, so I'm actually going to use liquid nails. Put a nice generous amount all over the back of this panel. Okay, I already put a mark up there measuring out the space where it should go. So I can see that you probably can't. I'm going to line up the center of this panel right on my mark here. And then start to slowly press into that liquid nail just so it starts to bond to the wall. Don't worry about leveling it yet, just get that all spread out with good contact on the wall. Once you have it connected, then come back with your level. Check both sides. Perfect. Always double, triple check. Once this stuff is glued on here, it's going to be a pain to get it off. Now I'm going to take the frame, get it right into position with the help of some other hands, and tack that into place. So I drove 2 screws in on the side. I'm going to drive 2 up on the top through the studs. Awesome. Man, that looks sweet. Now let's take and pre-drill for this guitar mount. If you don't hit a stud where you want your guitar mount, we're going to use these mollies. Pre-drill a hole. Make sure you're pre-drilling smaller than the actual screw part of the mollies. And then we'll get this last guitar hung here. Alright, so this is the Brothers Osborne guitar. Just hold the mount up top. Hold the guitar, make sure it doesn't fall. And then make sure you're not too low to the barnwood or way too high. Okay, once you have that figured out, what we're going to do is take this screw and just punch a hole through the copper sheet as a guide. Alright, so probably hard to see on the camera, but there's 2 pinholes that I can see, so I know where to pre-drill. Now I'm going to take the pre-drill bit, go right into that pilot hole. Same on the top. Alright, now we're going to take these mollies. These are self-tapping mollies. After you get through the pre-drill, they look wider, but they're going to start digging into the drywall. Just like that. Now we're going to drive it right into those mollies. Again, be careful not to over tight so you don't strip out the molly. The molly is plastic, so if you use an impact drill, you could definitely strip it out. And we'll take the actual mount itself, screw it back into place, and hang our guitar. Alright, so this is what they look like up. Let's go through the steps again. I'm going to lay one of these copper sheets out on the ground outside to build my border and make sure it's perfect around that copper sheet. Then come back and rip our trim 45 one side and keep measuring all the way around the border, brad nail all this off, and then come in and install with our either PL or liquid nail, screw this off to the wall. It's a super simple process. It could seem really tricky. Just make sure you're taking the steps and measuring everything out, especially on the barnwood. But this is one of, seriously, my favorite projects, and it's a night and day difference of how it looks in here.